Oh, hey, hi. Sorry, I'm just sitting here in the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, and I'm enjoying a heated seat with a recovery massage right now after my walk this morning. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. I'm currently in Palm Springs, and what I want to do is a quick walk around of the tech in this vehicle, and I want to focus on the 48-inch screen that we have kind of behind the wheel. So not going to do a full walk around, not talking about powertrains, simply a tech review of the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. And there's a lot going on here. And I want to answer one of the big questions that I've gotten is whether or not this screen is distracting while driving. I'm not even going to issue a spoiler alert. You're just going to have to watch and see. So let's take a closer look at this week's car du jour, the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Okay, let's just start right here. And this is essentially my view from the driver's seat. So I'm holding my camera literally right in front of my eyes. And you can see I've got the steering wheel lowered enough that you look at the screen directly over the top of the steering wheel. Now, then you have your view of, well, presumably the road, but right now this is not a road. We're sitting in a lawn somewhere. But yeah, I'm not going to get into the visibility just yet, but I just want to talk about what I'm looking at on this screen. And so the first thing I'm going to point out is this part of the screen right here through this map is going to be static. So you will have this little icon here will show your vehicle assist functionality. If Blue Cruise is active, this will all turn blue. This is your speedometer. Sometimes you can get some brake coaching and some messages that show up on here, like if you start driving and you don't have your seatbelt on, that will show up here. And then you have your map right here. So from here to here, this cannot be changed. What can be changed starts, and you can see actually like a little bit of a seam right here. So what can be changed starts on this side of the screen. But even so, this is not going to be active content. So you'll notice right now this somebody has their phone paired with this vehicle, and you can go to Android Auto and listen to music. So this is going to be a music module. This right here is the weather module. And then over here, you simply have a clock. There are only 7 things right now that you can put, 7 widgets, as they're calling them, that you can put in these spaces right here. And in order to change that, you are going to come into this screen right here, and you press this menu item right there. And so as you can see, you've got music, you've got weather, you've got a clock. But the other things, sorry for the reflection, it's bright. So the other things that you can do are fuel economy, tire pressure, trip 1, trip 2. So if you want to move your fuel economy up, you can just kind of pop it into that spot. And then you can look up here and you can see this is where your fuel economy is. Now, this is not getting 4.6 miles per gallon. What I want to say is this has been sitting here all day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, and literally just sitting here with the engine running. So that's why that looks as bad as it does. But so again, you can kind of customize the things a little bit, and I would probably leave it about like this. Maybe I would move the clock over here and put the fuel economy over there. But I like the idea of clock, weather, fuel economy. And again, this is static material. It's stuff that's not going to change. And it is very, it's very non-distracting material. So I'm just going to start there. So now I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with this screen, and I'm going to tell you one of the things that I don't like about this screen is how reflective and shiny it is. As you can see right now, very reflective and shiny, and this is a problem while you're driving if you are trying to adjust some things. And these, if you go to this little menu icon right here with the little circles, these are going to be your apps. So if you wanted to get into Google Maps, if you wanted to get into your CarPlay or Auto, there is a browsing capability. So when you are stationary, you can actually use Vivaldi to browse the internet. So great for carpool. All of that is going to be housed in this area here. There's even the ability to play games, and I'm going to point out they were doing a demonstration the other day, and let's see in here. They actually had a controller and they were playing games. So also a possibility. And then, that's what you have going on here. And then when you come into your home button, it shows your map, it shows your audio over here, and then you can add your phone. So this right here is another interesting space. And I'm apologizing for the reflection, but you have the ability to adjust your seats, which these have the perfect function perfect function 24-way adjustable seats. And as you can see, I currently have the massaging seat on. And but if you want to adjust your seat, you have like little areas that you can go into, and then you can pump things up or down on a scale of 1 to 10. So that is quite lovely. So seat adjustment, your ambient lighting is also in here, and you only have 7 colors that you can select. I'm kind of really enjoying pink right now, and I have some B-roll that I'll show what it looks like at night, because obviously not night, but I think it looks really cool. You've got like a little, it almost looks like claw marks that come over here, and then your footwells light up. The one thing that does not light up, and somebody had asked me about this, is do you get like a cup holder light? And you do not. So there is nothing that is pink. Like if I've got pink selected, there's nothing that is going to be pink on this space right here. It's all on the door and in the footwell area. So that's your ambient lighting. Drive modes are also housed within this screen. You have normal, conserve, excite, slippery. I really like the graphics. Sorry, they're probably not coming through as cool as they really look, but you do have some options there in terms of your drive modes. I particularly liked driving in excite mode. It just kind of tightened up the throttle response, and the steering and the suspension, and everything just felt a little bit tighter. Now, one of the things that I want to point out that I don't like, in addition to this shiny screen, is the fact that you have a toggle switch right here, which you can hit, and then your drive modes will pop up here, and then you have to move to adjust your drive modes on the screen. So hard button pops up the menu. So hard button pops up the menu, and then you have to move to here. And I mean, this is probably a learned thing. People will get used to it as owners, but I don't know, if you're going to have a switch to activate your drive modes, like why not just make it a toggle? All right, one more thing I want to talk about before we get into whether or not this is distracting is this right here. Even though you cannot configure this, there are some changes you can still do in terms of changing your design theme, or your digital theme. And so in order to do that, you come over here and you hit the vehicle button, because that's going to take you into your settings. Like, so if you were on home, you hit this vehicle button, and then you go into your settings. Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes the touch doesn't always activate immediately. And then you scroll up and you go to display. This would be the point against touchscreen. So go into the display, and here you can change your theme. So right now it is set to Inspire, so you can see it's got like a little bit of a mountain thing going on with some nice little water. But if you go up one, this is called Engage. Then you have Tranquil. And, you know, that's just more simple. You just see like a little bit of a line underneath the speedometer, but otherwise it's pretty, you know, static and black. And then you have the final one is called Constellation. And it has like some like galaxy kind of theme going on behind it. And I mean, again, unfortunately, because it's bright, this is not as visible as I would appreciate it to be or like it to be. But so you do have some options. And again, you Constellation, Tranquil, Engage, Inspire, and you can kind of just scroll through those to decide what one you like. So we'll just go through them again. So this is Tranquil. And then you have Engage. And then you have the Inspire. Personally, for me, I actually really like the Engage theme. So this is probably where I would leave it. Looks like it has like a little disc underneath there, and then it's otherwise just pretty simple and static. So that's where I'd leave it. All right, let's move on and talk about how this is to drive with. All right, so I think I've got it set up so you have a pretty good view of the screen, and I'm just gonna talk about what's going on here. So I have it set up, like I said, on the Inspire theme, and I kept this pretty simple. I don't need a lot of distraction. I like the fact that you have the, you know, ADAS systems showing up here. Your Blue Cruise will show up over here when you activate that. And then you have your map right here. None of that is going to change. I will say if you hook up your phone to Apple CarPlay and you have that active and you set your navigation through Apple Maps, your Apple Map will show up here. So I like that. I like the fact that you get either the native navigation system or your Apple Maps. And then if you have Android Auto, your Google Map that is on your phone will show up here. So again, I like the fact that this is pretty static. It's just below my visibility. And I guess I shouldn't say my vision line. How's that? It's just below my vision line. So, I mean, I'm looking over the steering wheel at the hood. I can see the hood from my position, and this is just below that. So, you know, and when I'm driving, I will, you know, I'm like a 9-3 driver, so I typically keep my hands here, and as I'm moving the wheel, you know, this isn't distracting. I just dip down, speed. It's almost like a head-up display on the windshield. And it's pretty simple. And the steering wheel itself does not block my visibility. You know, I've got it low enough, so this is as low as it comes. But if you're taller, obviously, you can raise it up. And so the steering wheel doesn't block my display, and then the display does not block my view of the hood. I can literally see the hood. I can see the hood. So I can see. So that part of the visibility is really good for somebody my size. I'm about 5 feet tall, so 5th percentile female, and I don't have a problem with this. Now, looking over here, as I mentioned earlier, this is static information. Why am I going to be looking over here at this? It's not moving. There are no animations. There are no graphics. Like, okay, the clock is going to be, it's 9:08 right now, and it's going to change to 9:07, but that's it. That's all that's going to change. You know, maybe as you're going through your time, your temperature is going to change, and your fuel economy will adjust, obviously, as you are driving. But this is static information. And so that, to me, is the kind of thing, like you're driving down the road, and you're like, oh, what time is it? And you just kind of dip your head a little bit, and you're like, okay, and then you're back up looking at the road again. Or, you know, what's the temperature? It's starting to get cloudy. You know, and then, so again, it's a big, clear representation of the temperature. It's not like a little tiny font or print, so they're like, what is that? No, it's not doing any of that. That's big. That's really big. You can see it from there. It's big. And the same goes for the fuel economy. You've got big, lovely, beautiful graphics in addition to large numbers. So nothing there to me is distracting. However, I will point out if you don't like the screen, if it bothers you at night, there have been some questions about driving at night and reflections and things like that. Well, if you think this is going to be distracting at night, you can go into this right here, and this is your customize your display, and you just hit the calm button, and look at that. It literally takes out everything except for your speed and then your ADAS systems. So that's it. It blacks everything out, so distraction gone. So if you like this feature, you can make it available. If you don't like this feature, you don't have to have it available. You can turn it off. But personally, I really like it. I think it works really well. It's not distracting. I can see over this screen very well. I have great visibility out of the windshield and, out of the side windows. I will say the A-pillars are a little bit chunky. That's my visibility problem. That's my problem with seeing out the front. It's not the screen. It is not the screen. There's actually a lot more to say about the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. And I do have another video over on the Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk channel, so be sure to go over there and check it out. I do more of a walk around in addition to a brief tech review. And I give you my driving impressions. But overall, I think that Lincoln has done a great job with this vehicle. It's going to start around $50,000. And as you level up, you're going to get more and more features like these perfect position seats, the massaging seats. But that screen is standard. So that is a new standard feature on this vehicle. You will get it even at the base trim. So I don't know. I think Lincoln is a very underrepresented and a very overlooked brand. And I don't think it should be. It is, in my book, better than Lexus. Because it is just a little bit more luxurious and a little bit more calm, and I really like everything about this vehicle. In fact, there were only two things that I didn't like. Well, maybe three things, if you really want to get gritty. But one is the shininess of the screen. Two is that toggle switch that's not a toggle switch for the drive modes, and then three is going to be, sometimes I had to jab more than once to get the screen to do what I wanted it to do. But for the most part, this is a really well done vehicle. I think Lincoln has knocked this out in the park. And if you like a two-row luxury vehicle, you definitely have to give this a test drive because massaging seats. All right, that is what I have for you today on the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus tech review. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time with a new car du jour.